Hey, how's it going? My name's Nat. Coming up on Newsbreak. No cheering at the Olympics. Flying taxis in Paris. And a big bang. That was pretty big. You know what else would be big? If you subscribed before we get started. Olympic fans, good news. You're allowed to attend the Tokyo Games. As long as you're a Japanese local, you promise not to cheer and COVID behaves itself. Here's Joe.
With an Olympic victory usually comes an Olympic cheer. But in the case of this year's Tokyo Games, it'll be more like a light smattering of clapping.
Yep, the International Olympic Committee has just announced how they'll keep Olympic fans COVID safe.
For starters, no international spectators will be allowed to attend, and instead, only Japanese locals will be in the stands. They'll have to wear a mask, and cheering, yelling or shouting will be banned too. Venues will also only have 50% of their normal capacity, and that's a bit of a problem, because organisers have sold too many tickets. Around 4 million people originally had tickets, but organisers need to get that number down to around 2.7 million. Some have been refunded, but the remaining ticket holders will be put into a lottery. Except instead of winning something, more than 900,000 people will be randomly chosen to lose their tickets. Even with reduced numbers and strict rules, some health officials think that allowing spectators in at all is still very risky. And the Japanese Prime Minister says that if conditions get worse, he'll ban spectators altogether. So maybe this polite applause won't seem so bad.
The Great Barrier Reef should be listed as in danger, according to officials at the UN. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, says it's making the recommendation because climate change is a big threat to the World Heritage Site. But the Aussie government isn't happy and says it's doing everything it can to protect it.
We've invested $3 billion under the Reef 2050 plan and other measures.
If the recommendation goes ahead, it'll mean the reef will lose its status as a World Heritage Site. Ever wish taxis could take off into the sky and fly you to wherever you needed to go? Well, wish no more, because the first test flight for flying taxis has just taken off in Paris. Here's Leila.
Ride for Leroy.
Yeah, close enough. Does this have like propellers or wings or something?
Well, no, it's just got like wheels.
Enter a taxi that can fly. This German-made flying taxi is called a Volocopter, and it's just made its first test flight in Paris. It was a short, slow one. The 500-metre journey only lasted about 3 minutes, and it didn't carry any passengers. But it's still really exciting, because the hope is volocopters like this one will be flying people around the city for the 2024 Paris Olympics.
Well, a flying taxi, well, that'd be pretty expensive, wouldn't it?
Well, actually...
It should be possible to afford this experience for everyone who can order a taxi today.
Much like other ride-sharing, they'll be booked with a smartphone app. Initially, there will be professional helicopter pilots flying them, but the hope is one day they'll be fully automated. So wow, there you have it. The future is flying towards us.
Now, before we go, it's time for an eclectic collection of stories from around the world in a segment I like to call Having a Blast. Literally. Massive explosive tests have been carried out in the Atlantic Ocean by the US Department of Defense. They were trying to work out if this aircraft carrier could handle the shock of an explosion during battle. And, well, it's still there, so I reckon that's a pretty good sign. Meet Xavier the human and his best friend Blanchon the pigeon. Xavier actually rescued Blanchon a couple of years ago from a cat and brought her home. The BFFs have a blast hanging out all the time, whether it's in Xavier's workshop, watering the garden, or nibbling his fingers. And finally, if you've ever wanted to kick off your shoes and walk barefoot through horse manure, then this is the place for you. A barefoot trail has just opened in Moscow, allowing visitors to walk through a variety of different ground surfaces. Pine bark, pebbles, sand, wooden logs, and of course, manure are all part of the 3-kilometre long experience. Its designers reckon that walking barefoot improves your health and acts as a sort of massage. Well, that's all the news we've got for you today. In the meantime, don't forget you can hit subscribe. We'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now. Say bye, everyone.